Have you ever felt that being alone isn't the real problem, but feeling lonely over time is? There's a quiet difference between enjoying being by yourself and waking up each day feeling like the silence has gotten heavier. Living alone after 70 can bring a sense of freedom, but without the right safety steps, it can also quietly open the door to sadness, worry, and health problems. Many older adults think they're doing fine just keeping to themselves. In many homes, quiet sadness grows not from weakness but from not paying attention to the right things. Things that didn't seem like a big deal in their 60s suddenly begin to wear away their peace in their 70s and 80s. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 things you must pay attention to. If you live alone after 70, these aren't just tips. These are the missed details that decide whether your golden years will feel like a slow fade or a bright chapter. If you felt a little more tired, a little more angry, or even just oddly cut off lately, it may not be just aging. Sometimes it's the space around you shaping your feelings, energy, and even your health. Let's take a close look, because once you catch these early signs and adjust, you can get back a surprising amount of joy, clearness, and strength. You deserve better than just getting by. You deserve to feel alive and in control, even if you're on your own. Let's begin. The first thing that quietly chips away at happiness when living alone is the lack of a daily routine. It starts off feeling like freedom. You wake up when you want, eat whenever, and do things when you feel like it. But before long, that freedom turns into a kind of lack of direction. Days start mixing together, and your energy starts dropping for no clear reason. Without some kind of rhythm or anchor to your day, your brain starts to lose its sense of time, push, and purpose. From a mind point of view, the human brain finds comfort in things you can predict. A simple structure, like morning tea, a walk, before lunch or reading in the afternoon may sound small, but these touch points help keep you steady. When we lose our rhythm, we also lose our grip on drive. That's when people start saying things like, "I just don't feel like doing anything lately," or "I don't know where the day went." That's not just laziness. That's confusion caused by a lack of structure. I knew a woman named Margaret, 74 years old, who had been living alone since her husband passed. In the beginning, she kept herself busy. But 6 months in, I noticed a change. She was calling off things, skipping meals, sleeping at odd hours. When we spoke, she admitted that without anyone around, she stopped keeping track of time altogether. She wasn't sad at first, just floating. But that floating turned into not caring, then low mood, then health problems. What helped her wasn't some grand solution. It was as simple as putting just 3 steady things in her day: a set wake-up time, a mid-morning walk, and making dinner before sunset. That tiny bit of order brought back her energy and even made her sleep better. You don't need a tight schedule, but you do need something that tells your brain, yes, I'm still showing up for life. It's never too late to build that rhythm. Your mood, your memory, even your physical balance will thank you for it. One of the most missed dangers of living alone after 70 is slowly not taking care of what you eat and drink. Not out of laziness, but because no one's around to notice. Meals become simpler, then the same over and over, and sometimes skipped altogether. The fridge gets emptier, drinking water falls off, and before long, your body starts quietly breaking down. Good eating after 70 isn't about eating fancy superfoods. It's about eating enough, eating regularly, and eating food that keeps your muscles, brain, and body's defense system going strong. But the danger when living alone is that meals lose their meaning. Cooking for one doesn't feel worth the effort. There's no one to share dinner with, so folks fall into a pattern of cereal for dinner, toast for lunch, coffee all day, and hardly any water. The mind follows the body. When you're dried out or missing key nutrients like B vitamins or protein, your thinking gets dull. Your memory slips. You feel tired without knowing why. And here's the tricky part. It doesn't feel like hunger. It just feels like low energy, low mood, low interest in doing anything. This is how not getting enough food sneaks in for so many people over 70. I remember a gentleman named Frank, 81 years old, who took pride in not needing help. But after a mild fall at home, a checkup showed severe muscle loss and early signs of thinking tiredness. The main cause, skipping meals and drinking hardly any water. Once he began having 3 basic meals a day and carrying a water bottle, his balance got better. He even started cracking jokes again. He didn't need extra vitamins or medical help. He just needed fuel. If you're living alone, think about this. Would you let someone you love eat the way you do now? If the answer is no, then you already know what to change. Make meals simple, but make them matter. Something warm, something colorful, something with protein. Keep a glass of water in every room if you need to. This isn't just about food. This is about staying strong, alert, and feeling steady, because your body is always listening. If you're still watching this video and finding these ideas valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't signed up yet, I suggest you sign up and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. One of the most dangerous things that can creep into your life after 70, especially when living alone, is silence. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that sits on your chest and wraps around your day, the kind where the phone doesn't ring, the television is just noise, and even your own voice goes unused for hours or even days. You see, human beings are built for connection. Even the most independent among us still need to be heard, seen, and noticed. But when you live alone, it's frighteningly easy to go entire days without a real talk. And the worst part, you start to get used to it. You stop reaching out. You convince yourself you're fine, but deep down, something important is drying up. There's a reason studies show that loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking or being very overweight. It raises your risk of memory loss, heart disease, even early death. Why? Because your nervous system never fully relaxes when you feel cut off. Your brain is designed to expect connection. Without it, it stays in a low-level state of alert, and that takes a toll over time on your body, your mind, and your spirit. I once met a woman named Grace, 76, who had been living alone since her husband passed. She kept her apartment tidy, paid her bills, even took short walks. But when I asked her, when was the last time you had a good laugh with someone? She went quiet. She couldn't remember. That moment broke my heart, because you can be alive and working and still starving for human warmth. That's why this matters. You don't need to be surrounded by people every minute, but you do need to hear your own voice out loud. You do need to know someone will ask how your day was. That's not weakness. That's being human. So whether it's calling an old friend, joining a walking group, or simply chatting with a neighbor while checking the mail, don't let silence win. Talk to someone every day. Even if it's small talk, even if it feels awkward, that simple effort can be the difference between a life that quietly shrinks and one that keeps growing. One hello at a time. When you're living alone after 70, meals can become less of a special time and more of an afterthought. You're not cooking for family anymore. There's no one asking what's for dinner. No shared table, just you, the fridge, and a quiet kitchen. That's where problems begin. It's surprisingly easy to slide into habits like skipping meals, snacking on crackers and canned soup, or relying on frozen dinners that are high in salt and low in good food. You tell yourself it's fine, less hassle, fewer dishes. But over time, this not caring slowly chips away at your health. Your body at this age is not as forgiving as it used to be. Every bite either builds you up or breaks you down. Without enough protein, you lose muscle. Without enough fiber, digestion slows. Without important vitamins, your body's defense system gets weak. It doesn't happen overnight. But one day, you notice you're not as steady on your feet, or your energy drops earlier in the day, and you wonder why. I knew a man named Harold, 81, who took pride in being self-reliant. He'd say, "I don't need fancy meals, just give me toast and coffee." But after he fainted at the pharmacy, doctors found severe vitamin shortages and signs of muscle wasting. It wasn't illness. It was not caring, quiet, unintentional, but dangerous. Eating alone doesn't mean eating poorly. You don't need to become a fancy chef, but you do need to be careful. Make sure you're getting protein with every meal, even if it's just eggs, beans, or canned tuna. Include fruits or vegetables daily, even if it's a banana and a handful of baby carrots. And drink water. So many seniors walk around mildly dried, out without realizing it. Think about making meals in batches and freezing portions, or use meal delivery services for seniors that focus on balanced eating. Better yet, invite someone over now and then. Sharing a meal, even just once a week, can bring back your appetite and your mood. Eating well is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about respecting the body that's carried you this far and making sure it carries you even further. If you're still watching this video and finding these ideas valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't signed up yet, I suggest you sign up and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. One of the quiet habits many older adults develop when living alone is falling asleep with the TV playing in the background. It starts innocently enough. Maybe the house feels too quiet. Maybe the silence feels a little too loud. So you turn on something familiar, maybe a late-night show or an old movie, and leave it running while you drift off. But over time, this small habit starts doing more harm than good. Television light, especially the kind that flashes and changes rapidly, gets in the way of your body's ability to fall into deep, healing sleep. Your brain stays slightly alert, never fully shutting down. That means you might technically be sleeping, but your body isn't recharging the way it should. You wake up groggy, still tired, and often not realizing that it was the screen that kept your sleep so shallow. There's also the feeling impact. When the TV becomes your bedtime companion night after night, it's easy to start relying on that noise as a buffer against loneliness. But this coping method often leads to a deeper feeling of being cut off. Instead of learning to be at peace with the quiet, or using the evening to read, think, or wind down in healthier ways, the television becomes a crutch that prevents feeling healing and deep rest. Take Eleanor, 74. After her husband passed, she found comfort in keeping the TV on all night. It helped her feel less alone until her sleep started suffering. She began forgetting things, losing energy during the day, and feeling numb. When her daughter encouraged her to try sleeping without the TV for a week, Eleanor resisted, but she finally gave it a shot. With the help of a small fan for background noise and a weighted blanket, she found her sleep got much better. She said she hadn't felt that rested in years. There are simple alternatives to help make bedtime more peaceful. Think about listening to soft instrumental music or gentle nature sounds. Audiobooks with a sleep timer can also help you drift off without harsh lights or sudden volume changes. And a warm evening routine, a light stretch, a chamomile tea, dimming the lights, tells your body it's time to let go and rest. Your sleep isn't just downtime. It's when your body repairs, your mind clears, and your heart softens. Protect it like it's sacred, because after 70, deep sleep is not just comfort, it's survival. Many people think that retirement means freedom from schedules. But the truth is, having no structure at all can quietly break you down. After 70, when your calendar is mostly clear and you no longer have the outside push of a job or children at home, time can start to feel empty. At first, the freedom feels wonderful, but gradually, it turns into a blur. Days melt into each other. You wake up not knowing what day it is, and worse, not really caring. This kind of drift is dangerous, not just feeling-wise, but mentally and physically. Without a simple routine, your body loses rhythm. You eat at odd hours. You skip movement. You sleep in too long or nap too often. And mentally, The lack of brain exercise starts to dull your sharpness. Studies have shown that seniors with daily routines have better memory keeping, more energy, and even stronger body defense systems. But this isn't about making every hour productive. It's about creating simple anchors throughout your day that help you feel steady. A walk after breakfast, reading before lunch, calling a friend every Friday, watering your plants in the morning. Routines don't have to be rigid. They just need to give your days a little shape. That shape is what keeps your brain alert, your body moving, and your spirit from sinking. Take Joseph, 82. After retiring and losing his wife in the same year, he spent months in a fog. He stopped shaving, stopped cooking, spent entire days watching TV in his robe. His doctor finally said, "You're not sick, you're bored." So Joseph did something simple. He made a list of 5 things to do every day. Make the bed, walk a lap around the block, cook 1 meal, call 1 person, and read for 15 minutes. In just 3 weeks, everything shifted. He felt lighter, more awake, more himself again. Structure isn't about control. It's about caring for yourself with intention. A life without shape starts to feel like it doesn't matter. But when your day has purpose, even in the smallest ways, you wake up with something to look forward to. If you're still watching this video and finding these ideas valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't signed up yet, I suggest you sign up and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Living alone after 70 can give you a deep sense of independence. But sometimes that independence turns into quiet suffering. Many older adults grew up in a time when asking for help felt like weakness. You handled things yourself. You didn't want to be a burden. And even now, when something feels off or when loneliness creeps in, you might keep it to yourself. You might think, "I don't want to bother anyone," or "I should be able to deal with this." But that kind of pride can slowly cut you off. And over time, it doesn't just keep others out. It locks you inside your own head. You stop reaching out. You don't tell your kids when you're worried. You skip doctor visits because you don't want to seem dramatic. You avoid asking neighbors for small favors because it feels embarrassing. But here's the truth. It's not strength if it leaves you suffering alone. There's a kind of wisdom in knowing when to ask. There's courage in picking up the phone and saying, "I could use a hand," whether it's asking someone to walk with you to the market, or telling your daughter you've been feeling down lately, or letting a neighbor know your front step feels slippery. These little acts of being open can actually build stronger connections. People feel closer to you when you're real with them, and they want to help more than you think. Take Mary, 74. She fell one night in the bathroom, but told no one. She didn't want to worry her kids, but the bruise turned into a limp, and the limp became a fall risk. Eventually, her daughter found out and gently said, "Mom, letting us in doesn't make you a burden. It makes us family." That one sentence changed everything. Mary now checks in twice a week. She's even closer with her grandkids. Her pride didn't shrink. Her circle of care just grew wider. The older we get, the more we need others, but not because we're weak, because community, honesty, and shared care are part of what makes us human. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say, "I can't do this part alone." Living alone after 70 doesn't mean your life shrinks. In fact, it can become richer, deeper, and more meaningful if you pay attention to the right things. You don't need to chase busyness or pretend to be okay all the time. What you need is awareness, a little bit of structure, a touch of courage, and most of all, connection to yourself and to others. Which of these 7 points hit home for you? Maybe it was the one about skipping meals, or maybe you saw yourself in the story about hiding your pain out of pride. Whatever it was, you're not alone. Many people your age are walking a similar path, and every small step you take to protect your well-being matters more than you think. You've earned the right to live peacefully, joyfully, and without regret. But that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by tuning into the subtle things that steal your peace and choosing to make different choices, ones rooted in care, not habit. Living alone doesn't mean being lonely. It can mean freedom, clearness, and a deeper relationship with life itself. So let's not just get older, let's get wiser too. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.